Good morning, everyone. It is my Thursday design team project reveal for the Sam Poole design team. And I made a bunch of little projects using several of the haberdashery kits and some of the items that are in various pink kits, some kits that have pink in it. So the main kit that I used, that I was inspired by, was the Noir. And this lovely young lady on the front is one of the images in that kit. And I printed her twice. She's on cardstock, and then I printed her on fabric, or printer fabric, cotton poplin. And I embroidered, silk ribbon embroidered some roses in her dress and a little up by her hair. And then I placed some, well, before I embroidered, I ripped up some vintage black lace, because the dress, if you see the image, you'll see that it's just kind of floofy and just kind of looks almost like it's made with, has feathers on it. So I just thought this would kind of lend itself to this particular image. And I have these this collection of wooden cigar boxes that I had saved from my crazy quilting days that I used to cover. So when I was organizing a week and a half ago, I discovered them. So I just thought I should use one. So that's what I did. This is an unusual size cigar box. I just covered underneath. I used one of the 12 by 12 scrapbooking fabrics. And this fabric, the DMC, is from the Haberdashery Adverts kit. And then I just covered the top. I painted it white and covered it with more of the vintage black lace. I put a little handle on it, and it already had this little closure. So I took advantage of that, put the handle on it, and let's see what's inside. First, I have this little journal, which I will show last. And this is just a simple little needle book that is very plain inside. I dangled a Swarovski button, a shank button, on the front, which can be used. And I just put in some wool with some needles. These are silk ribbon embroidery needles, and a couple little charms and some tiny pins, and just some extra pages for needles or stick pins. And then you can add a pocket or whatever you wish. Add a pocket to the back. So a little needle book and a card. This is one of her cards. I don't know if this is from the French haberdashery. I'm not sure which one, but it's a nice big button card. So I got in my button box and took some vintage black buttons. I think that one's wooden, and that's a large coat button, but they're all vintage. And I just sewed it onto this card so you can actually use the buttons. And if you don't want to use the buttons and you want to use it as a journaling card, you'll have to put a piece of cardstock on the back so it doesn't disrupt your writing. And then I have one of Sam's boxes. Let me put these in and set it aside. I have one of Sam's cute little boxes, and I filled it with some goodies for stitching. And this is a vintage aluminum little pin case. I guess it was for lipstick at one time, but I just put some stick pins in it. Well, you put it upside down and do that. And it had a little black tassel, so I thought that would be cute. And my theme is black and pink. And Sam's little envelopes, I just added a little set of sequins in each, in the colors that I used. A little touch of green for the leaves. And this should have pink, yes, some little pink flower sequins that you can use in your slow stitching. And these little fabric samples you can also use in your slow stitching. This is just a sheer flocked burnout fabric, and some vintage lace and some gray 3 different shears laces. Another vintage lace, and this is from an old dress. It has beading, but they can be used as pieces in your slow stitch project. And I also tossed in some of the Edmar threads that I like to use for embroidery in the colors that's in the kit. And in this little box, which is one of Sam's smaller boxes, I added some silk ribbon embroidery on the cards that come in the Noir kit. So I used the 4mm and the 7mm, so you could do your own embroidery. And on the back of our cards, it's lilacs, and on the front, it's roses, which of course are hidden with my silk ribbon. So this can be used as a slow stitch kit. It would make a really nice gift for someone. And now for the little journal, which is mainly for note keeping, for sewing. It's not really embellished, but it is, like I said, the Noir kit. This is the main image and has little roses. I did emphasize the roses a little bit more with some watercolor paints, and I made her hair, she has highlights now. Anyway, I used a silk dupioni striped fabric for the cover, and I sewed around this image and added some more of the vintage black lace and a couple of little metal corner pieces, and I tied it with a sari polka dot ribbon. And inside I have another sample card of lace and the silk dupioni fabric, and these images of Sam's are in the haberdashery, and a piece of the sari with a little vintage celluloid leaf and a piece of that vintage black lace. And I also put a piece inside because I really love that lace and I have quite a bit of it. So I thought I would sprinkle it throughout. And here's some of the pretty pages or images from her kit. And I printed it on the linen paper. It just has a really nice texture to it. And some of these, the French rose and elegant pinks, I believe I mentioned, I kind of sprinkled throughout for journaling cards, and just to add that little pink touch. Here's a group of sewing women. And I also printed some small black lace washi tapes. If you want to add something, and her little spool image is just used as the belly band. And this had fallen on the floor. It's just a rose, a dried rose. So I just taped it in there just for the heck of it. I should have done something different, but it is what it is. And the tabs are just made, I just did a few of them, and I used the same cardstock that's on the bottom of the box because I wanted it all to blend as a kit, as if, like, if you were going to give it as a gift, I it was nice to kind of blend it all together. And here's another glass Swarovski button, shank button, and some more of Sam's pretty cards from her haberdashery kits. And I did use a few rubber stamps, scissors, and stitches and such. And this is actually a piece of music sheet that Sam has sewn. She sent me some goodies last year, and this was in it. And I didn't know, should I just keep it in the box or should I just use it? And I thought, since this is a project for her design team, I would use a piece of it. So I sacrificed it. Little piece of lace, rubber stamp from Sam's stamp, one of her lace stamp sets, stamp kits. I love this. Like I said, it's pretty simple because I wanted it to be used as along with the whole kit, to jot down like what you were making, when you made it, who did you make it for, and so forth. Here's some of her tiny little cards for journaling, a special date or something. Another one of her pretty pictures. I used a lace image for a belly band. For some, I backed them with these cards with coffee dyed paper. A little rubber stamp. And I used one of her papers as a tuck spot. I printed it on cardstock. And this is just a 12 by 12 paper, but it went with, so I added that. A couple of nice journaling cards. I don't know if you can see that real well, maybe on the other side, but it's in her kit as well, and it just looks like black lace or cream lace on a black background. It's really pretty paper. A piece of washi and a belly band with some of her pretty cards. My fingers are dry. I've been gardening. It's been pretty nice here, so I just thought I would take advantage and garden. So I have no fingernails, and they're very dry, but whatever. Another pretty page. I believe this is from the French Rose, I think, or the Elegant Pinks. And another belly band. I use this from someone else's kit. I just had it cut out, so I thought it would be cute to put in here with some longer pieces of washi tape. That's a piece of washi tape that I kind of put together myself. Another one of her pretty noir images. I just used this piece for a belly band. And I added these in a pocket, which these are really sweet. A friend of mine sent me a whole bunch of these. She's an antique dealer, and she found these and she thought that I should have them, so she sent them. And they're tatting. It's this collection of this lady who tatted, and she was involved in round robins, and she put on here that her name, or the name, whoever made this particular tatted sample was Evelyn Chambers, and it was in her actual round robin, and her birth date was May 11th, 1908. And this is just an authentic piece, an authentic tape, because I did not do that. And in each one of these, the ladies have sent the directions, which I could never do, but the directions are written in her pen and also printed. I thought that was interesting, so I thought that would go in here nicely. And this little piece of tissue paper was a special little, it's a little holder. It looks like a little coat rack, and it's a holder for your laces. I'll be doing a video on that soon, and the woman who sent it to me, but it was wrapped in this pretty rose, pink rose design tissue paper, and of course we save about everything, so I had to put a little piece in here. Oh, this could be used as a bookmark or just a little journaling tag. It's got a very old tatted piece of a doily that I took apart. And that's just a piece of embossed paper with a couple of Sam's pretty cards. Here's that paper. Looks like lace. And this is a piece of the fine lace, the netting, or the super fine lace that I had used on the front of the box, and a little coat hanger, safe. Oh my goodness. Paper clip, and a tiny little dangled thimble on a rusty paper clip. And on the back, I put a few images and photos of the cloth of Sam's haberdashery ladies that I had printed on cloth, so they could be used in a slow stitch kit. And here's just a nice little, did the coffee dyed paper. It's just a nice little journaling card, again, with a little piece of that vintage tatting stapled onto it. And on the back, I used another cloth image that could be sewn into a slow stitch project on one of her sample cards with a beautiful piece of beaded fabric and then just a cream lace. And on this, I think it was My Porch Prints. I'm not sure who did this. Well, there's several who's done them now. I see videos everywhere. But I tried one of those hidden cards. I tell you, it wasn't as easy as I thought it was. But it was fun to do, and I'll probably do a few more till I get better at it. But I had to really trim it down so it would, see, I still have problems getting it in. But anyway, I thought I would try it with one of Sam's, looks like it was fabric from one of her haberdashery kits. And that is it. It's just a journal and a box of sewing goodies and a needle book that you can add things to. Oops, sorry about that noise. A large card of vintage buttons, black buttons, and a sewing and a box to put it in. And that is my design team project for Sam Poole, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I also want to take a few moments or a minute to thank you for watching, and to thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you leaving comments and asking questions. And if anyone's interested, this is available at this point. And I don't really use my Etsy shop much anymore because it's just gotten ridiculous. So I will either put that it's available under the video, or I will put it on Instagram. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.